Hi everyone, this is Taryn Jarvis, the Garden Coordinator at Rare Charitable Research Reserve, coming to you from the bluebird section of our food bank garden, which ironically has killdeer nesting in it. So here we have a killdeer who we disturbed the other day when we were working in the garden, and we knew we had disturbed her because she started running around and behaving like she had a broken wing. And what she was doing was trying to lure us away from the fact that she had eggs laid in the area. So we very carefully looked around the garden for her eggs and found them. And they were 3 small eggs laid simply on the ground, not even in a nest. And the eggs pretty much matched the color of the ground, so perfect camouflage. And once we isolated where that nest was, we put this colorful ribbon to protect them so nobody would walk on the eggs. Now since then, the babies have hatched out. There are 3 little killdeer running around the garden right now with the other parent. What we're doing right now is mulching our walkways in our garden area. I've been using a no-till garden method in this area for 5 years now, and what that means is I do not use a rototiller to turn up the soil. We can achieve light, loose soil simply by amending it with things like straw over the winter and by never stepping on the soil. So what we do here each spring is we lay down cardboard pathways and then cover them with wood chips and ask all our gardeners, all our volunteers to stay on the pathways and never step on the soil. It's my belief that tilling damages the soil by drying it out, killing the friendly animals that live in there like the earthworms. And another reason why I encourage embracing a no-till gardening strategy is because when you till the soil, you bring to the surface long dormant seeds, which now are exposed to beautiful rainwater and sunlight, and the weeds will flourish in your garden patch. As well, if you till your soil without pre-weeding, you're then conversely tilling all these dry weed seeds deep into your soil to lay there until next spring when you decide to till again, and they will emerge as beautiful weeds in your vegetable garden. It's mid-June and here we are in the food bank garden at Rare. What we have growing so far this year are these beautiful cabbages that we're protecting under floating row cover. That's our attempt to keep out the cabbage white, whose youngsters would love to devour our cabbages. Beyond the cabbage rows, we have some potatoes that are mulched in straw. And off in the distance, row upon row upon row of young tomato plants, garlic, peppers, eggplant. We also have onions, cucumbers, yellow zucchini, celery, the list goes on. Our garden patch here is full of hundreds of tomato plants that later this season will produce bushels and bushels and bushels of fresh organic tomatoes for the Cambridge Self-Help Food Bank. As you can see, they're starting to flower. So shortly, we will have tomatoes. Tomatoes are a great vegetable to try gardening if you're new to gardening. Here we have tips from one of our community gardeners at Springbank Community Garden, Nancy.
So my name is Nancy and this is part of my garden here. I just thought I'd give you a few tips on planting tomatoes and peppers. When you get them from the garden store, dig a nice hole and put in some nice compost and some eggshells that you save from your boiled eggs or your omelets. Put that down into the hole. The eggshells provide calcium, and you don't really have to crush them really a lot. Just stick them in and the roots will take up whatever they need. Compost is really, really important too. And you can stick your head in here. Now, what I use for fertilizer is comfrey leaves. And comfrey you can find along the roadsides, and it has a really horrid smell, but it's great for fertilizer. And it provides all of the different nutrients that plants require for healthy growth. This is my friend's comfrey, and she bought some plants. My comfrey, as you can see, is starting to come back up here now, and within a few days or maybe a week or so, it'll start to come up. This is what the leaf looks like. They're very hairy, and if you end up with a sort of a skin rash from touching it on sensitive areas of your arm, don't worry, it will dissipate after a while, or you can wash it as well too. And this is what the flowers look like here. Aren't they beautiful? And the bees just love this.
Wow, good for bees and for plants, eh?
Yes, yes. Think about doing some research from the library or on the internet about companion planting. Very important. Marigolds and tomatoes and peppers do really well. Garlic included as well. They just kind of like each other, and they grow better with each other. Anything else?
That's perfect. You're natural, Nancy.
Anyway, over and out. Happy gardening.